The government had previously mentioned a 5% deposit scheme which I've been talking about for quite a while. That was to come out on January 1. Now, in that point in time, there were a few different rules around it and various other things. And basically what's happened is a fair bit of that has changed, and it's actually been brought forward to October the 1st. So it's literally about 30 or so days away. So it's some pretty crazy things going on, actually. So anyway, but what's basically been brought forward is a couple of things. So first things first, and I'll get into a couple of these things in a few minutes. But first thing, major thing is no place limits. So all Australian buyers who have saved a 5% deposit can buy. No income caps, which I'll get into more as well. First home buyers with higher incomes can access the scheme. Higher property price caps, which means to help first home buyers, price caps have been increased. And then finally, simpler access in regional areas. So the regional first home buyers guarantee will be replaced by the first home guarantee. So if we get into this in a little bit more detail, the first thing I want to get into here is price caps. So you'll see here you've got the original price cap of the schemes, which you on the left there, and then on the right you have the new price caps. Now you'll see there that obviously the Sydney Basin region price caps, which is Sydney Basin is pretty much Newcastle the whole way down to the Illawarra, which is Shell Harbour included. That's all the way up to 1.5 million now. Melbourne and regional Melbourne, which is Geelong, is now 950,000. Mind you, what I should mention to everyone is, for all those idiots that were saying Bendigo, Ballarat, Shepparton and all those locations are good ones to buy, look at what's happened. Their price caps I don't think they've actually changed at all, but they've actually included Geelong as a major regional centre in Melbourne, which has a $950,000 price cap now. So for all those idiots who are saying, oh yeah, let's buy in some crappy other regional location, the government has even told you that you're wrong this time. But anyway, aside from that, you've also then got, you got your Brisbane and should I say major regional centres right up to $1 million. So it's Gold Coast, Sunny Coast, then Perth up to 850 is quite large, highly up from 600. So the Sydney one, Basin region one is just insane. Melbourne one's reasonable, I'd say, alongside with the Geelong one is also ridiculous because that affects the whole market. But that's where we're kind of at. So those price caps, that's what's happened under the scheme coming in October the 1st. No income caps. Now, this is another thing that previously there was something. So previously income cap was $125,000 for singles and $200,000 for couples. So for first home buyers, that income is reasonable for a first home buyer in saying that, but now it's people with any income. And funny enough, like whether people agree with me on this or not, I can tell you this for a fact. This is going to benefit the high income families and the higher income households significantly more, because I can't tell you how many families I know of. I can't tell you how many people in the networks that I'm in and various other avenues that I'm in that have now said, oh, what we'll do now is in our family business, we'll pay them, like $50,000 more for 3 to 4 months, and they'll get the higher borrowing, buy that place. They'll give them a little cash boost as a handout, whether it be some help from mum and dad or help, from a bonus in the business or something like that to get in a property that's $1.5 million now. Now, these families and these people who have the higher income can now actually even afford to buy in the better suburbs, some of the better suburbs in the regional locations, especially in Sydney, Melbourne, Geelong, Newcastle, all these sorts of Central Coast, Wollongong, some of these locations. And I mean, it's just going to be insane what's kind of going to go on here. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it won't help first home buyers, it will, but it's going to help the ones with a lot more money, a lot more now, because you've taken out these income caps. So that's kind of what's going to go on in the market, and there are some pretty key reasons for this. So why is this brought forward? So let's just make it very simple. This is just an article here, pardon me, saying raise taxes to fix budget. Treasury advises Labor in accidental published advice, and that was in mid-July this year. So it's only about a month and a half or so ago, right? Now, you'd wonder, okay, why are they, doing what they're doing? And it's very simple, right? Stamp duty is the government's highest, it's one of the highest, I think it is the highest actual revenue generator of all things that the government takes, the highest tax revenue generator that they have. Now, Yes, it will help first-time buyers, but the fundamental reason they've done it here is very simple. Now, whether you like the Labor Party or not, they are very good at playing politics. So you come and look at it in the media recently, just search it up if you don't believe me. Go and have a look at them saying, no, we don't want to touch capital gains tax, we don't want to touch the negative gearing, we don't want to touch GST, which all of those things, mind you, will lose them a significant amount of votes. They've played politics very well here. All of them will lose a very, very large chunk of votes because people don't like that. There's plenty of people who do own their homes in Australia, and it is a large thing that they don't want to touch because of it. But what better way to do it than create a boom in the housing market, make more properties affordable for more people, remove income caps, and then also not only that too, but also bring in quite a lot of people from overseas as well. Now, I'm not having a crack at immigration here. I have my own opinions on that, but I'm just saying bringing more people in, they'll have to live somewhere, which means you need to build more homes. So more sales, more demand equals more stamp duty, which is then more revenue. So this is just a graph here from PropTrack, and it just shows you the stamp duty compared to monthly earnings. So you can clearly see here that's just gone up like crazy, especially since COVID. In pretty much every city of the country, really, it's gone up since COVID. Now, in saying that, when we get more sales and also more higher prices and more people wanting to get in the market, you're going to get more stamp duty, because this 5% deposit, it does not exclude stamp duty. I should tell everyone that. It does not exclude stamp duty, especially for the higher price brackets. It doesn't exclude stamp duty. So for everyone wanting to know, that's the reason this was brought forward. It's to raise more tax. So they've been very smart as the way they've played politics here, because what's basically happened is then they're going to raise so much more money, it's not even funny, but they're still going to retain their votes. So I actually commend them for the policy they've done. They've done a very good job at it. But fundamentally, that's the reason this was brought forwards.